Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Medieval Technologies. Today we will be looking at how we can build a custom workflow or GitHub workflow using variables and scripts. Okay, so here in this article we will try to create a custom workflow which will use wherein we can define some custom environment variables and try to utilize it in a script like a bash script and see like how we can capture those values. Okay, so I'm currently working on Ubuntu 22.04. so this is basically the runner that I am going to use in order to execute my custom workflow. So let us get started. So the first step, like what we need to do is we will clone the repository. So I'm going to use the GitHub repository which is there in my repo, that is learn git. So you can clone this, like you can basically fork this repository and try to clone from your account, or like you can use your own GitHub repository, whichever you like to use. Okay, so right now like I am cloning my own repository. So let me go into my shell. So this is the repository that I have cloned, and this is the structure of my repository. Okay, now let us go into our next step, that is creating a bash script. So as I said, like we are going to use some kind of we are going to define some kind of custom environment variables and try to utilize it in a bash script. So for that, like here we are going to create one simple bash script, that is hello runner. So let me open that script for you. So this script is basically going to capture the custom environment variables and print their values. Okay, so this is very basic. Like I'm just like providing the arguments to this bash script and trying to capture this values. Okay, so this is related to the bash script that we have created, and now let us see, like we need to provide the bash script the execute permission. Like we need to set the execute permission so that the GitHub workflow is able to execute our script. So if you see the hello runner script, so I have provided the execute permission, that is X, for all the user groups and others. Okay, so this is for user, this is for others, the group, and this is for others. Okay, so this is how you can set your permissions for the script. Now let us go into our next step, that is creating the workflow. So this is the step wherein we will try to define our custom variables and try to execute our script that we have created in our repository and use the custom defined variables. Okay, the variables is basically a way to provide like store or reuse non-sensitive configuration information. Okay, so you can use any kind of configuration information that you want to be like you reused, so that can be like created as a variable and reused in your steps, but this is specifically for non-sensitive information only. But if you want to store something like very sensitive, like passwords or store tokens or keys, like you have a different options for that, that is creating a secrets in GitHub that we might look in our next video, but this is specifically for non-sensitive data. Okay, and these variables that we are going to define, they can be defined at 3 levels. So let's say, like if this is my workflow, like you can define the variables at this section after the event definition. Like you can provide the env key and define your environment variables, so that is at the global scope. But if you want to define at the jobs level scope, like you can define the env environment key at the jobs level, so that will create your variables at the jobs. So multiple jobs can be will be able to utilize those variables. And there is third section, that is defining your environment variables at the step level. So if you define your environment variables at the step level, like only that specific job steps will be able to use those environment variables. So if you are defining the environment variables at the step level, only that specific step is able to use that environment variable data. So as you can see, this is the step wherein we are trying to execute a bash script. Okay, so if you see, like I have used a context like GitHub.workspace to capture the working directory or the current checked out directory of the workspace of the repository, and in that, like I'm trying to execute this hello runner script by passing two arguments, that is language and message. And where I'm getting these values, so I'm getting these values from these environment variables that I have defined below. Okay, so these are the environment variables for which the language value is bash and the message value is hello GitHub actions. Okay, so this is how, like, you can create your workflow with custom variables, that is environment variables, and the script custom script that you want to execute in your workflow. Now the next step is pushing the changes. So let me go into my my shell, and let me try to update this script. So let me just put some formatting. So this is just to show you, like, in order to trigger this workflow. And now let me add this and commit and push the changes. Okay, let me insert my token. So now I have pushed my changes, like we have pushed a custom workflow which will execute a script and print out the environment variables that we have defined at the step level. Okay, so now let me go into my GitHub repository, that is learn git, and go into actions. And here you can see, like, this GitHub action has been executed now. Like, I have two workflows actually, but this is the GitHub actions workflow that is basically to show you like the basics of using the context, but this is my other custom workflow that gets executed parallelly. So you can see that these are the two workflows. So like how many, if you have multiple workflows, like all those workflows will be getting executed whenever you are going to trigger them using some kind of a GitHub event. Okay, so let me open this custom workflow, and here you can see. So let me open my workflow again. The first step is, like, we are checking out the repository using the action checkout. Okay, so if you go into this, so it has checked out our repository, that is learn git. And now the next step is basically executing the hello runner script by passing the arguments. Okay, so if you go into the execute bash script step, like, it is able to it is executing this script with this following arguments, and these arguments are basically replaced by the value that we defined in the environment variables over here. Okay, so now once you execute the script, like here, like I updated my formatting. So this is just something that I just wanted to trigger the workflow, and you can see the language and the message value getting printed out in the output. So this is how, like, you can trigger your custom workflow with environment variables defined and a script that is using those environment variables. And also, like I mentioned, the environment variables can be defined at 3 levels, that is at the workflow level, at the job level, or the step level. So you can give it a try with using those environment variables at different places. So if you go into GitHub variables, so it will straight away take you to the GitHub Actions variables, which will show you like how you can utilize the variables at the workflow level, at the job level, and at the step level. So this is all I wanted to show you in this video, like how we can use the variables and run our custom scripts. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you all. Thanks for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.